Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In our last video, we learned about loops, how to use them, and the different types of loops. Today we are going to learn about file handling, how to create and alter them using Python. I highly recommend watching this on a big screen and coding along with me. That's the best way to learn. If you get stuck anywhere, feel free to drop your questions in the comments below or email me at saket.saketlabs@gmail.com. I'd love to help. And before we jump in, if you're enjoying this Python series, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on future lessons. It really helps the channel grow and keeps me motivated to create more awesome tutorials for you. Alright, let's get started. Let's start today's video by writing some contents to the file. To write some contents to the file, first we have to open that file and then write the contents into it and close the file back. To do that, to open a file, we have a method called open. Open takes two parameters, which is file name and the permissions. Here W stands for write. So we are trying to open this example.txt with the permissions to write. So let's try to execute this. So first I'll open a file with write permissions, and then now I'll write contents to the file. Let's write as file handling text. Now I'm writing this content into the file. At the end of the file, at the end of the content, I'm giving /n, which means whichever the content that is written after this will get added in the next line. So I'll write once more the new line. Now after writing the contents to the file, I will close the file. So now if I open the saketlabs.txt file, you can see that whatever the contents that we have written into the file has come here. So this is how we write contents into the file. So to read the contents from a file, again we have to open the file with the same method, open, and here instead of permissions as write, we are going to give it as read. So R here stands for read. So let me try to execute this. So I'll open saketlabs.txt, the file which is over here, with the permissions to read. Now I'll assign the contents that I read from the file to this variable called contents. Now if I try to print contents, as you can see here, file handling text, the new line, whatever the contents that we have written to the file earlier, the same contents is being shown here. Once the read operation is complete, we'll just have to close the resources. So this is how we close the file. So similarly, if we want to read line by line from a file, what we can do is again open the file with the read permissions. Once we open it, we can do for line in file. Let me try to print file first. So it is of type IO wrapper. So for line in file, we can print line. So as you can see here, got the first line and the second line. Each line is being printed separately here. So this is how we read line by line. So similarly, how we did for read and write, if you want to just append some contents to the file, we open with A. A stands for append. So let me try to do that once more. So if I to write again, if I start with the W, write permissions, it will overwrite the existing contents. For example, let me try to write again. With the write permissions, and then file.write, this is new line now. And now if I try to close it, the contents that we stored in socketlogs.txt, which was earlier the sentences which were this one, the file handling, the new line, these contents got overwritten when we try to write with W permissions. So to avoid that from happening, what we do is we open the file with append permission. So here you can see I'm adding permissions as A, which means append. So now if I try to write something, so since I have not specified /n here, I'm going to specify /n here, meaning this something in a new line will be written in a new line. So now if I try to close this, you can see something in a new line got appended to the existing content. So as you can see here, we have been opening the file and then closing it after whatever the operations we do. So if we forget to close the resources that we open, memory leaks might happen. So memory leaks are nothing but when a memory block is improperly managed and is not released when it is no longer needed, will lead to something called memory leaks. So when memory leaks happen, the usage of memory might grow over a time if it's happening in an application. So to prevent that from happening, whatever the resources that we open, we close it. So there is an alternative method in which the resources that we open will automatically get closed. That is with syntax. So here you can see I've just opened the file, whereas I haven't closed the file at all. So when you use with syntax, the resources that are opened using with will automatically get closed. So let me try to run this with syntax. So instead of socket apps.txt, so I'll try to execute this. As you can see here, the line was added later. The same got appended here. In this case here, we need not specifically close the resources, as with construct will handle this. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the hands-on learning experience. I recommend watching the video multiple times for the concepts to settle in. If you're watching this on your phone, I highly recommend switching to a laptop and coding along. It will make your learning much more effective. In this session, we learned how to handle files, how to open them, write contents to them, read content from them, and how to properly manage resource using with syntax. All the code from this video has been pushed to GitHub, and you can find the repository link in the description below. So feel free to check it out and practice on your own. In the next video, we'll start with error handling. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notifications, and leave a like if you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.